Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your host, Keek Geo. I'm doing a live from my new computer that I got. And I got it because of my job. I work from home now. This is my room. I don't want to go downstairs to my studio. But anyway, what I really want to talk about is the viewing hours, right? So check this out. A few months ago, I would say like 6, 7 months ago, I had over 4,000 viewing hours, like for a year and a half now. And I had gotten demonetized. And when they demonetized me, that's when everything went downhill for me. I don't want to do YouTube stuff like that because they said that they took me off the program because I was doing um, used content, um, which they didn't explain to me then. But as I kept looking at other videos, now I know why. I'm reused content. So I had let's say I had the video of the comedian Ralphie was generated at the beginning. Ralphie didn't generate too much, but towards the end, towards last year, to like I would say May and June, the video Ralphie was generating a lot of views, and it was generating me money. All of a sudden, or it was reused content. All of a sudden, YouTube decides to check this out. YouTube decides to strike me, and they block me. So as they block me, here I am thinking, all right, I already got the 4,000 viewing hours, so it's not going to be no big deal. No, since they blocked me, are you aware that now I had over 4,000 viewing hours? This was in June. From June to today, which is December the 3rd, my viewing hours have gone from whatever it was over 4,000 viewing hours to 2,130 viewing hours. So how is it possible that if I have so many viewing hours, my viewing hours will go down? I can understand they not go up because people are not watching them, but how can the viewing hours go down if it's something that you already had? So I go on Twitter and I try to explain myself to the Twitter people, to YouTube actually, because they answer you there quickly, and they're telling me, "Oh, if you use reuse content," I mean, they're giving me rhetoric, something that I already know. What I want to know is how is it that here I am, I have 4,000. If I have two candies and I eat one, I have one, right? So if I don't eat those two candies and I leave them there in my drawer for days and days, I'm still gonna have two, right? So here I am thinking about I have over 4,000 viewing hours, over 4,000 because I got them like 2.5 years ago, and my viewing hours keep going and going and going. How is it that if you stop me from making videos, wouldn't that right there make those viewing hours stop also? Hey, Melissa, okay, wouldn't that make it? It won't make it go up, but how can it go down? It can't slip. So I speak to them on Twitter. They don't give me an answer. All they do, they give me links to things that I already know. So for me to get monetized again, I have to grow back. I have to go back to 4,000 hours when I already had 4,000 hours. So that's my pet peeve. How could I have lost hours that I already had? You know what's that to go from 4,000 viewing hours to 2,130? And I write to them, and they keep saying, "Oh, all you have to do, your shorts is not the same. Your short videos are the same. It's not the same thing." I say, "Listen, I don't do short videos. I've done videos with YouTube that they tell me they're not kids. Kids cannot watch this." I say, "Well, if you look at my videos and you see when you go in, my videos is restricted to only 18 and up." How was your Thanksgiving, Melissa? 18 and up. Nothing wrong. Nothing. I mean, I can understand the reuse context. I can understand that. They gave me a strike for putting stuff of Cody. Cody. Cody is something that if you look at the video, Cody is something that if you look right now on YouTube, a lot of people talking about Cody. They got videos on bills of Cody and blah blah blah, but they decide to ban me. They give me a strike because of that, and they're doing the same thing. You know, and I just don't understand how sometimes YouTube works. And And when they gave me the strike for their reuse content, they could have been a little bit more elaborate. They couldn't even give me they shouldn't even give me a strike. They should have just said, "Look, Gio, this is what you're supposed to do and not to do." Because on the reuse content, you can use a person's content, but you cannot make it like you have to make it different. Either you put your picture on it, you put a full video on it, you do a voiceover. You can comment and say if you have a clip of a sport and you've already seen it on TV, but you have to take it and make it like your own. Kevin Hart, blah blah blah, or whatever the case may be. You have to give a little bit of your own thing. You just can't leave it as is. So I didn't know that. So I thought about having the Richie, the Ralphie Mace. They wasn't gonna do anything. Once it generated over 100,000 views, that's when they decided, oh, it's time for you to go down. And that's when my viewership was going up, my subscribers were going up, and I was getting more money on it, you know. But then all of a sudden they went down and they decided to give me a strike. I think like for 3 or 4 months. And then when that happens, that's when you don't see me too much on Facebook, on YouTube. It's because it brings you down, you know. But then I said to myself a few days ago, I'm not the type of person to bring down. That's not who I am. And I gotta let go of this. I gotta let go of this strike and just move on and bring you guys more content and bring you guys more things to do. Right. So it is what it is. But if you guys are out there and you're having the same thing happening to you, please let me know because it's getting ridiculous. Look, I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. Look at my viewing hours. Look, just to show you. Because I tried to give you the truth. Now it won't let me see my hours. But my hours were here. And you will look here, it says monetization. You will press here, just earlier on was like that. You'll be able to see your hours here. Now it doesn't let me. And I understand YouTube, I just don't understand. I really don't. And then the funny thing about it is that they write to you on Twitter and they send you a link. I don't need a link. One link was good, but the rest of it, I already know about that. Explain to me how is it that I have 10, like me, I have 10,000 viewing hours, and because I don't go on YouTube every day, my viewing hours are going to go down. Explain to me that concept. That's what I want to know. And I find it's weird that I come to you guys today, and this part's not even there. And now it won't give me my viewing hours. So that's what it is. That's what it is. And guys, let me tell you something. Has 2022 been good to you? Has 2022 been good to you? Let me know. Comment below. Tell me. I had this thing a few years ago that I said, just don't think about it. Just do it on your new year. Do the same thing. Don't think about what you're gonna do. Just do it. Love Puerto Rico. Just do it. All right. But comment to me what you want to do for 23, what you want to be accomplished. I know I can't, you can't do that because if I'm telling you, just do it, then I'm contradicting myself and telling you, tell me. That makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. So I got these few because I got the new computer now. So I might also have one downstairs. But I want to bring up. I want to bring some. I want to bring up some good topics this week. I'm bring up adoption. I want to bring up what can we do to make our lives a little bit better. In a sense, when I say that, what the topic that I want to bring up to, one of the things that there are a lot of young men, there are a lot of young women out there who are, especially there are a lot of single women out there, and a lot of single teenagers. I just saw a report the other day that the growing group of HIV positive people are young Afro American women. We have to start attacking that. We have to start bringing awareness to the low income community. We need to bring awareness to we need to bring awareness to everybody, because people think that just because you don't see HIV or you don't see AIDS or you don't see people you think AIDS is still out there. If you guys lived in the 80s when AIDS came around, you'd be surprised you wouldn't even be hitting anything. But the fact of the matter is that it's not portrayed out there as a deadly disease anymore. It's not portrayed out there as something that's going to kill you. People are going around still having sex without protection, and this is not good for anyone. Hey, Anastasia, doctor. So I want to bring up that point to young blacks and young Hispanics that AIDS is still out there. You know, AIDS is out there. Don't get it wrong because you don't see a commercial, because you don't see a TV ad, or because you see someone in the commercial in a TV ad that's all healthy. Because look at me, I've been HIV positive for 22 years. And that doesn't mean that I'm always going to look like this. Doesn't mean that you never know if I was skinny or not. But that's not the point. The point is that back in the 80s, if you saw when AIDS first came out, it was horrible. And people nowadays, being that they don't see people like that, they tend to believe, I don't see them like that, so it's nothing to worry about. So they don't wear condoms. They don't do anything about. So I want people, I want to raise awareness. Well, see, people like that who are purposely, Anastasia said she just saw a guy who purposely infecting women. See, people like that should just be out of the picture. Because when you do that, you see, when you do that, you're giving us people who have HIV, you're giving us a bad name. Because I personally, whenever I met, before I was married, I even told my wife when we were married, even before she even saw me on picture of, this is what I have. I don't tell everyone because it's none of their business. But if I'm going to get into a relationship with someone, or someone's going to be something serious, or we're just going to do something, then I will tell that person. Because why? Because it's not my job to take away that person's decision. That's their job. Now, I've had girls that have been like, you know what, Gio, I don't care. You're a nice guy. We just protect you, whatever the case may be. But you have to be upfront. People like that who goes around infecting women because in their mind, they're like, well, you infected me, so I'm going to infect you. And a woman does the same thing. You infected me, I'm going to infect you. It's called stupidity. Because what you could do is with that infection, what you could do with that is that you can gain knowledge and you can teach others. I had a girl one time in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, 2014, 2012. We met online. She was HIV positive. I'm HIV positive. And I went to Florida. I went to see her. We lived together for a month, and she was afraid of telling her parents. She never told the parents because she was afraid of what her dad was thinking, what her dad would think or would say. So we one day went to the beach. We started talking. Her mom was there. I said, you know what? I started talking to her, and I said, who are the closest? Who from both your parents? Who the one you're closest to? She said, my mom. I said, well, let's start with your mom. Tell your mom what you have, blah blah blah. And when she told her at the beach, I was there. I was like 3 feet away, but I wasn't too close to here because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to bother with, and not bother. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to. That was the mama daughter moment. That's their time. And she told her mother, and her mother was crying, and they hugged each other. And then when they went back to the house, they told her father, and nothing came out of it. They were hugging each other, and that's what you're supposed to do. So, but when you have idiots like this that are going around purposely and infecting women or infecting men, because people like that, they don't care who they give it to, and that gives us a bad stigma. It stigmatizes us, and that we don't need enough stigmatism. We already have. Back in the days, like, oh, you don't hang around with this guy because he got a drag, don't hang around with this. But people just didn't know, right? But I want to, you don't see, for the money that Magic Johnson gets, you don't see Johnson advocating in projects. You don't see him going to New York, going to the hood. You don't see him go to LA, going to the hood. You don't see him doing this. He only talks about HIV when he's in a program and someone asks him about HIV, but he doesn't talk about it. He may give money, but that's nothing. You can give money to other programs, but you have to be the face of something. And that's what I do. When I come on here and I tell you about me, I'm not ashamed of what I have. I really am. I'm not. But if I had his platform, this would be even bigger. I know he's not our friend, Anastasia. He's not, because that's what I don't like about Magic Johnson. He does not advocate. I sent a letter to Charlie Sheen's publicist to see if he would come on my show and we could talk about it. Because those are the faces that we do need. His excuse, I don't care about his excuse how he got it. I don't care his excuse of how he didn't get it or whatever it came to be. What I wanted to talk to him about and to other people who have it is that what can you do about it? How can you live with that without being, to be stress free? Because that's the way you have to live. And when you're as popular as Magic Johnson, and you have all that money that you can touch people, you can go to the projects, you can go to jail, you can go to all these places where you can talk to people because you're Magic Johnson. People, maybe not all, but some people will listen. Watch TT, and people will listen. My son the other day, my mom said like a few months ago, "Oh, Dad, how does it feel having HIV?" Like, I don't know. Like, am I supposed to have some special power? I don't know. I mean, I've had it for so long that I just don't know. Look, this is what I take. I'm going to show you guys. And I'm going to show you why. This is how the pharmaceutical company screws you over. Or TikTok. This is called TVK. Okay. This medication, supposedly, now check this out. This is how you know how how the doctors are. Supposedly, this medication with another one that I have over there, it's called Descovy. That one has not Teflon. I forgot the name. I'll get it for you later. But that one has. I'll tell you right now because I want to make sure that I talk to you right so you can know something. Teflon. Hold on a minute. I'm looking at it. Hold on. Wait. All right. It has tenofovir. So tenofovir, it was an ingredient. It is an ingredient that was the first one that came out through. I think I'm not sure. It's one of the major companies. I think it was not Pfizer, but when tenofovir came out, they had it at a high dose. With this one right here that I have, with this one right here, this one's supposed to be taken with that one because they say that without this one, that doesn't work. Without that one, this one doesn't work. Right? Now check this out. So I have a friend of mine in Puerto Rico that when she took that one, the one I'm talking to you about, the tenofovir, that gave her a lump in her back, and she felt bad, and she didn't feel good with herself. So she stopped taking that one, and she started taking this one. They're both together. So with this one, her T cells is always up. Her T cells are in 1,000. So I said, you know what? Should I try it? She goes, go ahead. Doctors don't want you to take just this one right now, not this one, not alone. So I came and I just took this one by itself. It's just one pill a day, and nothing has changed. My T cells are the same. My viral lows are undetectable. And I've been taking this just one by itself for 3 years. And now, mind you, they said they want you to take this one and that one, right? Because they want you, one doesn't work without the other. And that's just to tell you. And I called the company. I said, you know what? You don't have to sell your product with this product, because this product works on its own. You think they ever call? Because they make money selling you that one. So that one, a tenofovir, that one, they sold that at a higher dosage, and they knew. I think it's Procter and Gamble, and they knew about it. And people started getting bone loss. Bone loss. They started getting a lump in their backs, and right now there's a lawsuit because of that, because they had this product right here. It's in this medication at a lower dose. They didn't do as much. They didn't have that much side effect, but they wanted to sell the other one because that's what it gave. That's what the money was at. So that's why I say it's kind of hard to believe these people when they want you to take medication, and all these medication they want you to take is just makes no sense. So I'm taking one pill for a day, every day. Sometimes I skip it, but that's just me. I don't recommend it. I do it because I've been taking meds for 12 years now, and I stay with 2 or 3 days without it, and I go back on it, and still my last lab work, my T cells were. I show. I'm gonna show you, so I don't hide anything. Let me see. My last T cells were. I'm gonna show you right now, guys. So you see right here, T cell helpers. 958. 958. So the normal human being has between, depending on which lab you go to, between 1,400 and 1,600 T cells. I have 958. And that's with one medication alone, which is that one. That one alone. It fluctuates because every day you get stressed or you don't get stressed, so it goes up and down. And I seen those 958 goes up to 1,000, but the most it's gone was to 1,016. So that's just one medication that you don't really need all these medications that these doctors are telling you to give. Now, going back to what Anastasia said about guys, that guy going around giving HIV, persons like that should go to jail. Persons like that should go to jail for a very long time. Not because in the back of the mind people say HIV kills. No, just because you're doing something irresponsible, you're doing something they shouldn't be doing. You're making the decision of somebody else, because what works for me may not work for the gander. Doesn't mean that because I take meds it's going to work for you. Doesn't mean because I do this it's going to work. It goes back and forth. That's what it is. That's what it is. But enough talk about that. We're going to talk about Christmas. Are you guys going to celebrate Christmas? The jolly, jolly, jolly good Christmas? Do you know the story of Christmas? Do you know the story how we got the man by the name of Christmas? I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to be wrong, but someone should tell you. It has nothing to do with Jesus. That was just Catholics. But it's a good thing for me for a reason, because it brings those who don't believe closer to God. If you could do that, okay, fine. But the meaning of Christmas was nothing meant. It's just to make money. Like everything else in this world, in this country, is to make money. As I've learned, it's one of the things that I do say. You always got to get super personal. I've met Anastasia, when was it, a year and a half ago. And to be honest with you, I was oblivious to some things. But when I spoke to her, and she's an articulate young woman, and she gave me things to read. And you can read all you want, and you can say, I don't agree with that. But the things that I read and the things that I saw made me realize, you know what? This is not all cookies and creams. Because when you grow up in a society, especially here in America, everything that you grow up, social studies, is white. All the inventors are white. And that's all you see. And as you growing up, when you grow up in the hood or you grow up in the neighborhood that I did, you didn't see nothing commemorating a Hispanic besides if you're not Roberto Clemente, right? Or if you're a black baseball player, Jackie Robinson. You don't see that. You don't see in classes who was the black inventor, who was the black teacher or the Hispanic teacher. You don't see none of that. All you saw was white. And to be honest with you, some of these stories are the whites, not even Americans. They're from other countries. And when you see Thomas Edison, the white, the man who's great, most of his ideas were stolen. He stole Tesla. He wasn't smarter than Tesla. So when you go to school and now they want to teach you, they want to take so many things out of the book because they don't want you. You see, governments are slick. Government, if they can keep you down, or if they can keep a percentage of people down and not educate them, and then this is what you have as a wave of Trumpeters coming out and say, yeah, you know what? The elections were stolen. Hey, you know what? What did January 6th? That was nothing. You know what? The government, they're always looking for an excuse and not accepting the facts. And so when you have a group of people that you can manipulate, and you can tell them what you can't, you in so many words subliminally can tell them what to do, and they'll do it. They really would, because they don't know how to differentiate right and wrong. And if they do know how to differentiate, they just don't care. So that is why some places in government, they don't want to teach everybody the right way. They don't want you to get the right education. They don't want you to get a good education because they know that if they can keep you down, they would. You think the senators and legislators that become senators and legislators because they were good at that profession? Most of them are doctors and lawyers. So if you study to become a doctor, if you study to become a doctor and you study to be a lawyer and you ended up after 5 or 6 years in Senate, and that means you suck. You're not gonna help me out. So that's where we're going at. So what was I? I started off with my I started off with my thing. Anyway, it is what it is. I just wanted to try this out. Oh, that's what I was beefing about my hours. Where the hell are my hours? YouTube. I need my hours, bro. I need to get back to those 4,000 so I can start monetizing. Because when I was monetized, I was giving stuff away. I ain't Mr. Big, bro. I mean, Mr. Beast. I don't have that clout that Mr. Beast has. I don't. Or the others that have. I'm not looking for millions, bro. I'm looking for good followers that follow me and follow my content. And I keep asking you guys what content you want to see. You guys don't tell me, but you tell Mr. Beast, right? But that side though. That side though. You can keep Mr. Beast. I got Anastasia, I got Melissa Bias, and I got others. That's right. I do got others.